Om Gyantimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuramilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagan Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Saudvaitam Saudutam Parijan Saitan Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakha Vitamscha He Krishna Karna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Shri Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusate Devi Pranamami Haripe Vancha Kalpirupescha Kripa Sindhubhe Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gauratinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Hey Krishna Hey Krishna Hey Krishna So let us read this. Krishna 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 He Krishna 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 He Krishna 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 Rakshamam Krishna 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 Pahimam Rama Raghava and Rama Raghava Rakshamam Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Krishna Keshava Pahimam. So this has been the introduction for the book that we have been continuing in reading. So today we will continue on to the chapter of the stealing of the boys and cows by the Bramha. So Lord Brahma is going to steal boys and cows, and let us see what is going to happen there. Sri Sukadev Goswami was very much encouraged when Maharaj Parikshit asked him why the cowherd boys did not discuss the death of Aghasur until after 1 year had passed. He explained thus, my dear king, you are making the subject matter of the transcendental pastimes of Krishna fresher by your inquisitiveness. So, a great devotee always and always encourages to ask questions. He never ever forbids anyone to not to ask any question. So we must always be encouraging in asking the questions. That must be our priority. That we don't discourage anyone in asking questions. So it is said. How I found link? Who is this? understand books, you have to study your books by yourself. It would be better. So, do you have Srila Prabhupada books? Hari Hari. Amol Prabhu, do you have Srila Prabhupada books? Okay, so start reading. Simple as that. It is said. Oh, sorry. Um, it is said that the nature of a devotee to continuously apply his mind energy. Uh, it is said it is the nature of a devotee to continuously apply his mind, energy, words, ears, etc., in hearing and chanting about Krishna. This is called Krishna consciousness. So, once again, we will read. It is said that it is the nature of a devotee to constantly apply his mind, energy, words, ears, etc., in hearing and chanting about Krishna. This is called Krishna consciousness. And for one who is wrapped in hearing and chanting about Krishna, the subject matter never becomes hackneyed or old. That is the significance of transcendental subject matter in contrast to material subject matter. Material subject matter becomes stale, so it doesn't remain as fresh as we want, and one cannot hear a certain subject for a long time. He wants to change, but as far as transcendental subject matter is concerned, it is called nitya navyamna. So material, wait a second. Okay, this means that one can go chanting and hearing about Lord Krishna and never feel tired but remain fresh and eager to hear more and more. So, this is true. This is absolutely 100% true. Like, I am not the one who can guarantee it because I am just a conditioned, not a conditioned soul, I am a fallen soul, exactly. Yes, that is my real identity. Ha. Okay, so, but it is true, I have seen my example also. So, material material things are become stale very fastly. We will get tired of them. We will get easily tired. They are not so fresh, they get stale easily. But the subject matter on the transcendental qualities of Lord Shri Krishna is unlimited, it is always fresh, and it is called Nitya Navyaman. So we can imagine it is always and always fresh, it's never become stale. We can continue go on hearing and hearing about Lord Shri Krishna. It is the duty of the spiritual master to disclose all the confidential subject matter to the inquisitive and sincere disciple. Thus, Sukdev Goswami began to explain why the killing of Aghasur was not discussed until 1 year had passed. Sukdev Goswami told the king, "Now hear of this secret with attention. After saving his friends from the mouth of Aghasur and killing the demon, Lord Krishna brought his friend to the bank of Yamuna and addressed them as follows: My dear friends, just see how this spot is very nice for taking lunch and playing on the soft sandy Yamuna bank. You can see how the lotus flower in the water are beautifully blown and how they distribute their fragrance all around. The chirping of the birds along with cooing of peacocks, surrounded by the whispering of the leaves in the trees, combine and present sound vibrations that echo one another. And this just enriches the beautiful scenery created by the trees here. Let us have our lunch in this spot because it is already late and we are feeling hungry. Let the calves remain near us and let them drink water from the Yamuna. While we engage in our lunch taking, the calves may engage in eating soft grasses that are in this spot. On hearing this proposal from Krishna, all the boys became very glad and said, Certainly, let us all sit down here to take our lunch, and then let loose the calves to eat the soft grass. So, at the time, they used to uh, freely uh, roam, let the calves roam in that free grass, and they can have uh, they can have their food. But in today's world, in today's time, the calves are not even allowed to be set free. The mothers of the mother of the calves are not even allowed to set free. They are just tied to the 3 feet row. That is just your hand. That's just your hand's measurement. So you can imagine how the cow's life would be. It would be so hellish. Like they would be in mental trauma and in physical trauma also because they can't move. It's very saddening. We must have good cows that we can serve. I would pray to Lord Shri Krishna that please, Lord Shri Krishna, have mercy on all the cows. Sitting down on the ground and keeping Krishna in the center, they began to open their lunch boxes brought from home. Lord Shri Krishna was seated in the center of the circle, and all the boys kept their faces toward him. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. So Lord Krishna was seated in the center of the circle, and all the boys kept their faces toward him. They ate and constantly enjoyed seeing the Lord face to face. Krishna appeared to be the whole of a lotus flower, and the boys surrounding him appeared to be its different petals. The boys collected flowers, leaves of flowers, and in the bark of trees, and placed their lunch on them, as as well as in their lunch boxes, and thus they began to eat their lunch, keeping company with Krishna. While taking lunch, each boy began to manifest different kind of relationship with Krishna, and they enjoyed each other's company. with joking words. While Lord Krishna was thus enjoying lunch with his friends, his flute was pushed within the belt of his cloth on his right side, and his bulge and cane were pushed in on the left side of his cloth. In his left palm, he was holding a lump of food prepared with yogurt, butter, rice, and pieces of fruit salad. Yes. So it is very, very detailed and very, very pleasing. Even if we are listening, we can relish them, which could be seen through his petal finger like joints. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who accepts the result of all great sacrifices, was laughing and joking and enjoying lunch with his friends in Vrindavan, and thus scene was being observed by the demigods from the heaven. As for the boys, they were simply enjoying transcendental bliss in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At that time, the calves that were pasturing nearby entered into a deep forest allured by the new grasses. Wait a second, let me go somewhere. So it is Krishna's mercy and will that we cannot enter in WhatsApp. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who accepts the result of all great sacrifices. हाँ, मैं reading कर रहा हूँ. Class चल रहा है हमारी. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who accepts the result of all great sacrifices, was laughing and joking and enjoying lunch with his friends in Vrindavan, and thus the scene was being observed by the demigods from heaven. As for the boys, they were simply enjoying transcendental bliss in the company of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. At that time, the calves that were pasturing nearby entered into the deep forest, allured by new grasses, and gradually went out of sight. When the boys saw that the calves were not nearby, they became afraid for their safety. Wait a second, let us read again. Let us read once again. Because we are missing something. Yes? Okay. Hmm. So the calves had went pasturing nearby into the deep forest, allowed by the new grasses, gradually out of sight. When the boys saw that the calves were not nearby, they became afraid for their safety, and they immediately cried out, "Krishna! Krishna is the killer of fear personified." So, if we ever call out Krishna, so he can easily kill out our fears, our doubts, our anything. Not anything, but that are our doubts mainly. Everyone is afraid of fear personified, but fear personified is afraid of Krishna. So just by crying out the word Krishna, the boys at once transcendented the fearful situation. Out of his great affection, Krishna did not want his friends to give up their pleasing lunch engagement and go searching for the calves. He therefore said, my dear friends, you need not interrupt your lunch. Go on enjoying. I am going to personally find the calves. Thus, Lord Krishna, still carrying the lump of yogurt and rice preparation in his left hand, immediately started to search out the calves in the caves and bushes. He searched them in the mountain holes and in the forest, but nowhere he could find them. Huh? So where did they went? Hmm. At the time when Aghasur was killed and demigods were looking on the incident with great surprise, Brahma, who was born of the lotus flower growing out of the navel of Vishnu, also came to see. He was surprised how a little boy like Krishna could act so wonderfully. Although he was informed that the little cowherd boy was the supreme personality of Godhead, he wanted to see more of the Lord's glorious pastimes, and thus he stole all the calves and cowherd boys and took them to a different place. Lord Krishna, therefore, in spite of searching for the cows, could not find them, and he even lost his boyfriends on the bank of Yamuna, where they had been taking their lunch in the form of a cowherd boy. Lord Krishna was very little in comparison to Brahma, but because he is supreme personality of Godhead, he could immediately understand that all the calves and boys had been stolen by Brahma. Krishna thought, Brahma has taken away all the boys and calves. How could how can I alone return to Vrindavan? The mothers will be aggrieved. Therefore, in order to satisfy the mother of his friends as well as to conceive Brahma of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he immediately expanded himself as the cowherd boys and cows. I have to read fastly, I'm sorry. In the Vedas, it is said that Supreme Personality of Godhead has already expanded himself into so many living entities by his energy. Therefore, it was not very difficult for him to expand himself into so many boys and calves. He expanded himself to become exactly like the boys, who were of all different features and facial and bodily constructions, and who were different in their clothing and ornament, and in behavior and personal activities. I'm not enjoying actually. Not. I am not enjoying. Krishna book is not enjoying me. That is what I want to be. Oh dear Krishna book, please enjoy me. I, I am the enjoyed and Krishna is the enjoyer. Therefore, in order to satisfy it, he has already expanded into so many living things as entities. If therefore it was not very difficult for him to expand himself again. He expanded himself to become exactly like the boys, who were of all different features and facial body constructions. In other words, although each boy, being an individual soul, had entirely different taste, activities, and behavior, Krishna exactly expanded himself into all the different positions of the individual boys. He also became the calves who were of different sizes, color, activities, etc. um hmm. In other words, although each boy, being an exactly individual soul, had entirely different taste, activities, and behavior, Krishna exactly expanded himself into all the different portion of the individual boys. He also became the cows who were also of different sizes, colors, activities, etc. This was possible because everything is an expansion of Krishna's energy. In the Vishnu Puran, it is said, Parasya Brahmana Shakti. Whatever we actually see in the cosmic manifestation, be it matter or the activities of living entities, it is simply expansion of the energy of Lord Krishna. Just the same way, just the same way, heat and light, heat and light are different expansion of fire. Thus, expanding himself as the boys and calves in their individual capacities, and surrounded by such expansion of himself, Krishna entered the village of Vrindavan. The resident had no knowledge of what had happened. After entering the village of Vrindavan, all the cows entered their respective cowshed, and the boys went to their respective mothers and homes. The mother of the boys heard the vibration of their flutes before their entrance, and to receive them, they came out of their homes and embraced them. And out of maternal affection, milk was flowing from their breast, and they allowed the boys to drink it. However, their offering was not exactly to their boys but to Supreme Personality of Godhead, who had expanded himself into such boys. This was a chance for all the mothers of Vrindavan to feed the Supreme Personality of Godhead with their own milk. Therefore, not only did Lord Krishna give Yashoda the chance to feed him, but this time he gave the chance to all the other elder gopis. Today we will read till this part only. Mm, Later on we will continue from here. Hare Krishna.